Hello, welcome back. It's been a while since I've done any YouTube content, so I thought now's a good chance as any because I've just joined the new Syndicate Lake. First session on here now, doing 3 nights, which is very nice. I don't normally do 3 nights. I'm very excited to be here. Wanted to join a Syndicate Lake, which poses a bit of a challenge, really. The last Syndicate I was on, I wanted to catch a certain carp, and I caught it quite early on, and just got plagued by a small carp. So for the money I was paying, I could come on here, which is, I mean, I live the whole area. It's probably about an hour away from me. I have spoken to Lake and who said I can name it, which will probably come in due course, but um, I don't want to plug it out there. I know it's maybe a well-known one, who knows? But anyway, so I'm on here. It's about 7, 8 acres. I reckon there's 30 pounders ish. Two that potentially do 40, and one that I've particularly got my eye on called Big Al, which goes, well, it came out about a month ago to 39 something or another, and it's common, so that'll break my PB, so that'll do nicely. Bank holiday, and I'm the only one on, which is a good sign. And the wind is hacking down one end, and I'm down that end. And there's been fish all over me today. So it's looking good. It's not an easy water. I've had a chat with the owners, and they've said there's some people that smash it to bits and have 4 or 5 fish, regular. And there's one bloke in here who just hauls them out, but and there's some people that have a fish or two a year, so it'll be a bit of a test, really. It's not going to be easy. It's quite deep, which I'll show you in due course. But I've been watching a few of the Scott Lloyd vlogs on YouTube, so I'm hoping it's going to be a bit sort of like that, a bit of a campaign video. So catch me throughout the year. Yeah, so I don't know a lot about the lake because I did the induction, found out a little bit. I've seen like the depth map of it all. In short, it's say 8 acres, reasonably long lake. 10 pegs on one bank, 10 pegs on the opposite bank, which doesn't look like it ever gets fished because car park sort of, it's hard to describe. There'd be 2/3 along further away down from me, so out of the 10 pegs, maybe line with peg 3 or 4 or something like that. And you have to go one way around. You can't go down the short end. So if you wanted to fish, say, peg 20, which is in the far corner, you have to go from peg 3 all the way around 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then go all the way around. So not many people fish that bank, I don't think. And looking at the pegs, there's like weeds growing out of them and stuff. So these are definitely the more favoured pegs. So see how we get on. 3 nights. It's 15 foot in front of me. So it's quite deep, and that's about the average depth, about 12 to 15 foot from looking at the depth map. And I've got which I'll show you, obviously June course, but like a far margin with overhanging trees. So I've got a couple under there in about 7, 8 foot, but all the fish have been all over me today. But they've been showing in the deeper water, and it's been blowing a gale, so I didn't really want to fish sticks. So it's a bit of a still working out phase. Just going to kind of chill out for a bit and watch the water and just see what I can learn over the next session. But I'll keep to it. It's going to be a bit of a, as I say, like the Scott Lloyd ones where they're being just a bit more raw footage rather than sit down to the camera and talk and all that kind of jazz. So we'll see how we get on. Hopefully I have a fish to show you. It'd be amazing if I do have a fish in my first session here, given that I know it's a hard lake, but we shall see. We can only try. Solid bags are out there for the time being. It's a good as starting rig as any, I think, which I've done well on this year with the Banoffee Outlaw pellet. So we shall see. About 7 o'clock now in the evening. Very grey and overcast. I've just come in the bivvy because it started raining when I was filming outside, and then it stopped raining all of a sudden. So I'm going to go back out, watch the water for a bit, watch the fish probably dance all over my rigs and mug me off. But until then, I'll probably catch up in the morning, if not sooner. Hopefully sooner. Just going to show you through the swim, which I have done twice before, but my microphone and my unsteady hand footage made it not usable. But there was some deer running behind me, which I did get a lovely shot of. But my microphone started screaming, so no good, but they were there. I'm in Carpy Corner, and there has been plenty of carp in my corner today. Unfortunately, not doing a great deal. I'll tell you what, I'll go behind the peg. That's what I did last time. Here we go. Carpiest swim I think I've ever fished. Lovely. Yeah, so I'll show you down there into the Carpy Corner. Unsteady hand footage again. The bivvy's still going strong on the outlaw bait, ready to go. Bait boat hasn't sunk yet. So here we are, in this very lovely peg. First rod was over there, where the end of the tree touching the water is under there. That was about 7 foot. I did put one under the canopy somewhere along there. However, there was fish showing all around the middle, and I couldn't ignore it. So I've had to just pub chuck one in the middle to showing fish, but it's about 15, 16 foot deep. So I'm overly happy with fishing that depth. But according to the guy I was speaking to, they do feed in that kind of depth. And lastly, I put one towards that cove, but about 3/4 way out in about 10 foot of water. I did have a walk around the far bank, and you can see spots close in to the bank, but it's a bit chilly, and I don't think they're going to get that shallow. So I'm going to stick with these depths for the time being. Let's see if I can get down here. Doing a bit more on the lake down that end. But the wind pushing in here, there's definitely fish down here. It's just a matter of me catching them. I'll show you the rigs and stuff tomorrow, but I just wanted to show the lovely setting that I'm in. Got a bit windy, so I've had to strap my pod down, but which no doubt I am going to trip over that at some point and go in, but cross that bridge when we get to it. It's not the most sunny evening, but beggars can't be choosers. Not sure if you can just see him there in the centre of shot. Good packer on there. Some swimming in close. Time to hit the zigs on, I think. Nothing during the night, a couple of bleeps, but that was it. But sun's on them and they're definitely up in the water, so let's get these zigs going. Right, so here we go. Zigs tied up, ready to go. A bit croaky because it's still early morning. Got a couple of these around it. And hopefully it won't tackle. There we go, just at the bottom. Moment of truth. Oh, it's baffled. Float's not pulling up. Take number 2. Gosh, on these corder floats be a bit of a pain. The other one I chucked out with a Nash float and he went out first time. These corder ones just... I know you meant to stick it to the float, but that doesn't really help either. That looks better. Landed right on top of a carpet, didn't spook, which is a good sign. Donk. Right. Well, that's truth. Part 2. Well, I didn't feel great. Don't feel very tight. But now we're winning. Ah, that's a float. Right. You're never going to see that in a million years, but it is out there. Can't see the hook bait though, which is slightly annoying. So, good job I measured it. So it's from here. I'll give it a little bit of extra just to make sure it's under. Right, so I'm going to go... went 200 with that one, so I'm going to go 300. 1. 2, 3. Should a good one, see how that gets on. I've only got 2 zig floats in there done, so solid bag's going out again. That's got the 2mm Banoffee pellet in. I've got some leftover boilies from France because we were allowed to use 3 today, so I want you to use the outlaw range, it's only shelf life only. So in goes some, make it a bit more manageable for myself with one hand. Just put in a few squished krill boilies. Put a few holes in. Put some in the back as well. I like to have a bit of a spread over both. You've got 2 hoppers, might well use them. And then a big handful of the Banoffee Crush, which will be my chosen bait for the next session, which I will cover shortly. But I'll send that out. I'm going to have a drive around in that vicinity and see what happens. So just a slight bit of an update. I'm just being on my phone to stay planning our next trip, which is coming in the next couple of weeks. I had a run on one of my zig rods. I'll say I run, it kind of bleeped up a couple, bobbin pulled up tight and then dropped back, so I hit into it, but there was nothing on the end of it, unfortunately. And there's been fish boshing down my left hand margin, like the bay area down there, so I put a rod on that. A lot warmer than it was yesterday. Plenty of fish about again. A few of them are cruising, but I'm struggling to find the depth of the zigs. They're not. No, I mean the one I had a semi-run or potentially a liner on was 3 foot. So I'm just toying around that depth. Got one at 4, one at 2. Because I've sat for a couple of hours on 3 and nothing's happened again. So we shall see. It's a lot warmer than yesterday. It's still quite overcast, but there's still fish here, so relatively confident. Day 2, even an update, which is not much of an update because bugger all has happened. But we've prepped some solid bags and the Banoffee pellet, which I've done well on until now. Sitting with 2 zigs, they just fish have disappeared all of a sudden out of this bay, so decisions are to be made. But I've kept a zig out down there somewhere. I've had a bit of a drive around my boat to try and find some spots, and the best I could find is under that tree branch in the Middle East green. Let's see if I can point without blurring the view. Whoa. Just about here. And best chance, which I'm going to put money on if I do get a bite, it's going to be from, let me see, don't really look very good on the camera, but there is I'm just going to be finger in view, a bit of a curve entrance there. Got my left rod down there, and I've had a proper savage liner. So that's a good one, but it's that savage I don't know to redo it before I go to bed or not, because it's a solid bag, so if it's eating everything other than the hook bait, it's going to be sat there all night pretty ineffective. But there's been fish boshing there all morning. It's gone quiet now, but I've picked up a few bits on the deeper and that looks good, so I think I might just sit on my hands and not be impatient and leave it, because there should be some bait out there, because I've done it a couple of times now, so we'll see. But mark my words, if I do get one, it's going to be from there. Hopefully something does happen, otherwise decisions have to be made whether I stay in this peg or I move the last night, but we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. Well, it is 2 in the morning, no fish. However, I can't really see, but I've had a mole scratch at underneath my bivvy all night, so I finally succumbed and I'll have to move. It's not what I intended on doing. Fortunately, the draggable with the beds inside, so moving it away from the mill hill at 2 in the morning is not what I hoped to be doing. Well, good morning. Nothing to report again. Decisions have to be made now whether I move or I stay. Probably got about 24 hours. Well, a bit more than 24 hours. I've got one more night to go. But it's just whether the effort's worth moving all my stuff for, because I don't really know the lake. So I wouldn't really know where to move to. There's a couple of people on, I think, pegs 5 and 8 yesterday doing a day session there. I don't think they had anything. Well, there's certainly nothing in our catch report Facebook group thing to say that they did, but peg 1 had a stocky. So I don't know. There's not the number of fish down here that was down here when I first turned up. But I've had liners on my left rod, which showed you that spot. I had one during the night and one reasonably a couple hours ago maybe. I know when I've looked, there hasn't been a coot there, so there is carp still down here, just how many of them I don't really know. I could go under the far canopy, because there is clear spots in about 2 foot of water, but there's a lot of ducks and coots along that far bank, so I think I'd just get hammered, to be honest. I haven't seen anything down there, so I don't know. I want to give it to about dinner time, I think. Leave the rods where they are. Bring them in. I need to get some bits from the car, so while I'm doing that I might go have a walk around and see if they're popping out anywhere else, because it's tough. I think if I stay in overnight I don't think I'm going to get anything, and I think I'll kick myself for not moving. But I said there is some down here, and the wind is going to pick up today and blow down here again, so you never know. But it's not looking good. Not a good night's sleep. The mole tracks, as you can see, the darker brown stuff was pretty much the diameter of my bivvy. Heading to it's now behind me, which was a pain at 2 o'clock in the morning, but hey ho. Now 7 o'clock in the morning, probably why I look rough as out, but yeah, we'll see. See what the day brings, or at least until daytime. I'm going to keep my eyes on the water. Hopefully they show up, or there's some signs of fish, because nobody likes moving, and I really can't be asked to move, so we'll see. We shall see. I shall let you know if anything else pops up. I'll never walk around, so if there's nobody else, then I'll do a bit of filming with the pigs just to see if any other fish are showing and show you around a little bit. But until then, I'll keep my eyes on the water and just pray that something shows up. Decision has been made. I'm staying right here. I had a walk around. Didn't really see anything. There's somebody in 5, 7. I spoke to the owner who came down, I had a chat with him. He said like the hot peg at the minute's 4, and there's nobody in 4, but if I went 4 and 5 are quite close together, so I didn't want to go and make enemies out of myself and fish right next to this bloke who's just turned up. So I had a look in 1 for a while, because I know that's done a fish recently. It just looked the same as this bait, to be honest, where there's nothing really in it, which I don't know, but I've had a bit of a change. I've ditched solid bags. The owner said like fishy baits works well. He mentioned the CC more, is it Pacific tuna? And I've got some of those wafters, so I've put one of them wafters on, put a krill wafter on, gone with the krill solubles. I'm going with a bit more of a standard boilie approach. 2 on the margin to my left where I've had liners. I put 2 pretty much near each other. Makes more sense than fishing the far bank where I've had nothing. The only fish I did see was in peg 9's water. There's nobody in 9, but it seems a bit pointless me just moving my bivvy 20 yards that way. So I put my right rod further to where, it's not bang on where I saw the fish, but near enough. And the chap I met when I came in, he said yellow works well, so I put a little washed out yellow pop up on over a track natural boilie, so we shall see. Wind's picked up, looks better down here. I still haven't seen any fish, but it was as good as anywhere. They only said they regularly show, and they're very spooky, wary carps. They said really slack lines. They've cut back all the trees, so there shouldn't be any snags, all being well. So I'm fishing slack lines, which I don't really like to do when I'm fishing up to snags, but we'll see. I'll take the owner's word for it. So yeah, and to put things in perspective, he said there's a couple of anglers on here that haven't had a fish in 3 years that they've been fishing it, so I can't be too disheartened that I've been here for not even 48 hours yet and I haven't had anything, if they haven't had anything in 3 years. But then one of the anglers on here, he's had 930s in his first year, so it can go either way. So it'll be a test to see where I'm at with my angling ability over the next year, I think. Hopefully I don't do 3 years without a fish, because I think I'll start playing golf again if I do. But yeah, we'll see what happens. I'm just going to stay here for 24 hours. I'm not particularly happy with a bivvy angle, because I did it at say 2 in the morning. It's on a real wonky angle, but it'll do for tonight. Fingers crossed something shows up. Hello, last morning, still fishless. I'll make it short and sweet because I appreciate this vlog's been me rambling on. The fish did move in here last night. They were boshing about 1, 2 in the morning. I was getting loads and loads of line throughout the night, so I did have a bit of glimmer of hope. However, when you wake up and you see the light, you think, oh, it hasn't happened yet. And it's 8 o'clock and I'm probably going to get off in a few hours, I think. I think if I stay in this bay any longer, it's either going to drive me crazy or it'd just be a wasted time, I think. It's just, I've been fishing long enough to know it's not going to happen. So I've enjoyed it. I've learned a lot in this three nights from speaking to people, just watching the water. I've definitely missed a trick with coming on this peg. I think everyone that's been here, there's been 4 or 5 anglers that have come here and they've all gone for the central area or thereabouts. So I've been in 10, 9, 8, 7 have all been free, and then everyone's been fishing between 6 and 4. Yeah, that's right. And then some guy went in 1 for a day and had 1. And I think some guy went in 8 for a few hours and nicked a little one out. But people that have been overnight stays have been in that kind of area, so definitely missed a trick with that. But you live in line, don't you? Fishy bait's meant to be the way forward, so they've putting in an order for some outlaw krill and squid and octopus. I'll probably buy some halibut pellet from somewhere as well. And fish the deeper water. Say when you come to a lake where it's 15 foot deep, you feel a bit sceptical of feeding, putting your rigs there, but apparently that's where they feed. So learned that. For the next time, might be the one. Definitely be September sometime, because the next session I'm going to Caplantis in Holland. I've been there before, but it's been taken over by Embryo now, so we'll see what the changes are. Even though my face may not look it, I'm very excited to be going. Me and Steve going there for a week. So I went there 2 years ago and I've been... Ooh, stand by, big fish. Boshed right on top of my bait then. Ooh, I you'll be able to see from the front camera. Literally bang on top of it. That may keep me a bit longer. But yes, so Embryo Caplantis. Yeah, I'm hoping it's going to be the session I'm hoping it's going to be, if that makes sense. Because it's good. I fished it last time and it was scorching hot and I still managed 3 out. And Brooks had 1 out. So better conditions and a bit more of an idea what I'm doing. Yeah, it could be a very good session. Either way, it'll be a laugh with Steve, so it'll be a good vlog to watch, and make sure you tune into that. Another good vlog to watch will be Marcus, because he's on Fenlade now and he's had a big one. And he's vlogging, so that'll be out within the time frame of this one-ish. So check that one out. Providing that big fish that's just jumped on my bait doesn't eat it, I'll leave you be. Thank you for watching. It's going to be a bit of a campaign one, so see how I get on the next time. I appreciate this has just been me rambling on for 20 minutes, but nothing else to show really. So we'll see how we get on. I'll keep you in tune with the Syndicate chapter vlogging. Hopefully next time be a bit more fish. There might be a little bit more snippets from a few sessions put together next time, rather than just each session having its own vlog. But we shall see. Thanks for tuning in. Make sure to tune into the next ones. We'll be a bit more active now. Now I've got my finger out and doing a bit more YouTube content. So thank you for watching. Check out Marcus's vlog at Fenlane, and then mine at Caplantis in a few weeks. Thank you now.